boosters watching you today?
Yeah, they've got a watch party going, and they're supporting me. They've been sending me messages all morning. So it sure is busy holding all those roles, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it.
Well, as you mentioned, you had a good car yesterday in practice. You only ran 4 or 5 laps. Did you get enough feel for what you have?
I think we did get enough feel. I think if Daytona was any indication of how well we can do on a super speedway, I feel like this is going to go really well for us.
Well, appreciate your time and have a great race.
Thank you so much.
She's been fun to watch. She was fun to watch at Daytona.
Fun to watch.
Yesterday and today.
Technical difficulties. My internet and computer simultaneously shit the bed for the last 5 minutes, so I've been trying to straighten that the fuck out for no fucking reason at all. The stupid fucking shit was working just fine, but the moment I go to start a stream, oh god! Turn it off! Turn off the internet! Computer freeze up! Oh! It's a big fucking catastrophe, and it's really fucking irritating. So, in any event,
Daytona, Talladega, obviously a little bit bigger, more banking, wider. What that means is you're not going to be so much worried about handling. You're worried about the moves you're going to make, who you're going to make them with, and
we're back. We're trying. I had 4 people here, and then, of course, if anybody watches my shit, my stream automatically cuts off. History has taught me. Are they coming to the green? I've been spending the last 10 minutes trying to get my shit together. I don't know who any of these drivers are. Okay, they're not coming to the green. I think they're coming to get one to go. Really going to be leaning heavily on that leaderboard today to see who the fuck these people are. Because I don't know who the fuck these drivers are. Most of them. I know Taylor Gray, I know Jesse Love, I know Jack Wood, I know Gustine, I know Frankie Muniz. I know Brett Holmes, I know Jason Watt, I know that Tony chick.
After talking to him today, that mindset has completely switched. Not only does he feel like he belongs here, he feels like he can win and fight for a championship this season. We saw that mindset come true already because he had a dream that he won here last night in Talladega. So we'll see if he can make that dream a reality here today. Jamie Howe? Well, for Taylor Gray, his full attention of racing for this 2023 season is in the Craftsman Truck Series, but having just turned 18...
So, as I said a few minutes ago, before this stupid shit crashed on me, it's ARCA Day in America. Maybe the universe doesn't want me to stream a fucking ARCA race. Maybe that's what was going on.
And he thought he was going to have a pretty easy start to the race, knowing that that number 18 was going to be on pole, but 3 laps into that one and only practice session, the oil pressure started dropping by lap 4. They knew they were going to have to swap that engine. He's been thinking about it all night. His mentality now is he has to be aggressive here in the first half of the race so he can have something to do at the end, Jamie.
So, I said earlier, growing up, some of my favorite races to watch were ARCA at Daytona and Talladega, and then around 2014 or so, they changed the cars and aero package in ARCA for Talladega and Daytona, and it absolutely killed the fucking racing here. But Daytona this year seemed to be a pretty good race. So this is the first time I'm ever willingly streaming an ARCA race. The last ARCA race I watched was Charlotte in 2019 because I was there. Because I had weekend tickets for Charlotte. I went to pole night, I went to Saturday's Xfinity race, I went to the Cup race, but yeah, pole night, they had Cup qualifying and the ARCA race. That's the last time I watched an ARCA race. So it's been over 4 years, and it's been even longer than that since I've sat through a Daytona or Talladega ARCA race, which I used to love doing. So, let's hope this is a fun one. Hopefully this is worth my while.
That'd be a good one to follow up on.
You better explain that, Jamie.
Yes, I was going to say, we're going to get into that later. But yes, one of her crew members may or may not have gotten, well, a tattoo in a place that I would never get a tattoo because of her top 5 minutes at Daytona.
Wait, what?
And if she gets it done,
boy, I've been watching this broadcast for 15 minutes, and I'm already weirded out.
So it's perfect for Talladega, right?
It is ARCA, though.
So the 18
we know what we're getting into here.
To the rear. We've got Perez moves up to the front row, but it's Jesse Love.
What did they change on these ARCA cars to make Daytona and Talladega good again? On the front row, Jesse Love and Andres Perez de Lara. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce that name. I don't know who any of these people are. Help me. It's ARCA Day in America. It's Talladega. A race starting before 1 o'clock. Beautiful stuff. No stage cautions. Let's make the most of this. Green flag. God damn, what a launch. Jesus.
He's clear by like 7 or 8 car lengths already.
Maybe too far out.
Jesse Love has a fucking 4 car length lead going into turn 1.
Certainly didn't seem very organized on this
Outside
start.
line did not go at all.
Control of it.
As they snake down the back. Boy, these cars look extra fucking slow, don't they? They've closed back up on Jesse Love here. See if the 2 takes the run to the outside. He doesn't. He stays in line. 5-car breakaway at the front.
And Andres Perez in the 2, running second right now, just falling in line his first time this style of race.
A leaderboard on the left side of the screen would be helpful, Fox. So I don't have to look at the one I'm looking at.
But hey, let me get in line here. Let me try to learn something. There's no sense trying to jump to the outside and try to make a move.
Jesse Love leads lap 1. Outside line, 3 car lengths off the tail end of this 5-car group at the front. Running the bottom, already separating themselves.
You know, depending on handling and depending on how big the pack is, but I think we've got 3 or 4 really strong cars leading that outside line, so I'll be interested to see how that develops over the next couple laps.
Are they going to make another stupid Malcolm in the middle joke today? Did they run that into the ground at Daytona? I didn't watch that broadcast.
Third line trying to develop some energy on the top of the track.
Andy J said he was going to make it 3 wide. Andy Jankowiak said he was going to make it 3 wide no matter what at the start of the race. And there he is right there, the wheeling car on the inside.
Great sponsor for him, a little bit of a throwback.
Jack Wood and Frankie Muniz are leading an outside line.
Jamie.
Jack Wood in that number 6. When we talked before the race, he said that one of his goals was just to remain more relaxed.
You know, you think the field's all spread out and it should be a pretty calm race as long as they stay like this, but I've seen enough ARCA in my life to know it doesn't matter how spread out they are. You could wreck half a lap ahead of somebody and the next car will come by and hit you.
I think that's really great feedback, but also studying yourself or getting some advice from others because
No, it's been about, what, 17 years since Talladega was repaved, and tire wear still doesn't mean that much here.
You were watching Jack Wood the entire race at Daytona. He wasn't making a lot of moves, but he was hanging a lot of people out trying to do it. And
Got the window open and I heard a weird noise and I was like, what the fuck?
To work your way up through the field. Obviously,
We got perfect weather in Talladega for the rest of the weekend. It rained there last night, but it's all clear the rest of the weekend. So, yay.
That was a good car that just jumped in behind Jack Wood. That was the 8 car of Sean Corey. He was 3rd at Daytona this year. Sean always runs extremely well on these super speedways. So
Most of the field's getting single file on the bottom now. Even Frankie and Jack Wood gave it up. Well, here comes Jack Wood. He goes back out to the outside. And now he goes back to the bottom.
I guess he's trying to manage both lines there.
Honestly, for ARCA guys, this is the best possible thing they can do. Ride.
Told me, he's going to be in
Just ride for a little bit.
races, and I said,
Man, these cars are fucking slow. There's lap times, 52 seconds in the draft. How slow are they without a draft? Is it like a full minute to get around here?
It gives you some confidence, so when he moves back up to the truck series,
For some reason, I'm very nostalgic watching this race today. Nostalgic for my old days of watching ARCA Super Speedway races.
Yeah, Jack has done a nice job. A couple top 10 finishes already this year in the truck series. He'll run about 15 races over there in the truck series. He's got that outside line going pretty well right now.
I want to see if Brett Holmes can do anything in 10th. Remember, he should have won the truck race here last year.
Taylor Gray is up there on that outside line. So there's a lot of good cars on that outside line right now.
Outside line's forming pretty good now.
When that bottom lane strings out,
A little further back. 2 slow cars on the apron. What's that about?
7th, 8th, 9th place cars that realize that they can't do
One slow car on the apron, just 1 slow car here. Who's getting lapped 5 laps into a super speedway race?
But clearly, this lane hasn't gone away as they seem to chuck out the 11 car.
Jesse Love continues to lead here as you see they're coming.
Hey, Kevin LePage, take note. You see what that lap car just did? That motherfucker's at race speed, and he pulled down on the apron and let the field go by. Wow, 6 laps in, they go to commercial. Not a lot's happening so far, but stick around, guys. It's ARCA. Who's here? Oh, this reminds me. During this commercial, I'm going to give you a glimpse behind the curtain. I've got to delete my first attempt at the stream before my computer and internet shit the bed simultaneously a few minutes ago. So I go to my YouTube channel real quick and delete the first attempt at this stream, if I may. And delete that. Come on, bitch. I just want to delete this. Go to edit video. Boy, it is really raining now. I hope my cat's inside. If he's not, he's under the building or under the back porch. He's fine. Delete, 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 delete. I understand that deleting is permanent. Thank you. Hey, Michael. My computer and internet crashed a little while ago at the same time when I first started trying to stream this. Been in a weird mood today. I've got to be in a weird mood if I'm doing an ARCA stream. It is raining so hard outside my house I can barely see out my window right now. I got my window cracked so I can get some fresh air in here. Don't want the rain blowing in though. Who you got to win this one? I like Brett Holmes. I'll take Brett Holmes for the win. I'll go with a name I know, and a name that I know was good enough to win at Talladega because he should have won the truck race here last year. This is my first ARCA race in 4 years. The last one I was at Charlotte in 2019. That's the last time I watched an ARCA race. Got some shuffling going on in the top 10. I see shit. How come ARCA has a better leaderboard than NASCAR.com? Why can't NASCAR.com have a leaderboard like this? IndyCar and ARCA kick their fucking ass for Race Center leaderboards. Also, General Tire, I'll take some sponsorship money since your goddamn logo's plastered on my screen for this entire race. 9 laps in. Uneventful so far. Shocking, actually. Boy, what great camera work there. You're showing absolutely nothing, Fox. Yeah, there started being some shuffling on the leaderboard there, so I'm guessing, yeah. They're not completely single file. They're about single file, 5 cars deep, and then from 6th on back, it's 2 wide. The top line's coming. And Jack Wood's been making big moves. Jack Wood and Brett Holmes are 2nd and 3rd in that outside line. And Jack Wood's shown he's not content to just ride. I'd follow that 6 car to the front. He's going places. You took Creed and Xfinity. Michael, I still got to think about it. I told you I narrowed it down to Creed, Parker Kligerman, or Brandon Jones. I hope Frankie wins. It'd be really sweet if Frankie won. Frankie is what, 2nd or 3rd in ARCA points, whatever that's worth to you. Can't believe they got 34 cars for those.
They know what each other has, and they know their ability. So the plan was to get together. They just didn't know.
Where's that Tony chick? Oh my God, Tim Richmond, 17th, back from the dead. Started 27th. He's up to 17th, guys. Ooh, the fuck was that? Oh, it was a lap car they were going around. I was like, I saw some movement there from that onboard of Brett Holmes.
Won at Kansas. Certainly like to get one spot better here. Talladega so close last year, Phil.
And he's raced a lot at the short track.
Yeah, Tony's 7th. I was making fun of her. I didn't even realize she'd moved up to 7th.
Big show this weekend.
On board with Frankie Muniz.
Don't say the Malcolm in the Middle joke. Don't say it. They probably got a note from the producer saying, don't say that fucking tired-ass joke again, please.
But you also want to learn. This is about learning, so you got somebody with some experience like Brett Holmes, so why not go up there, that outside line, and see if you can help them and make it work. It's fine to run against the double yellow line, and that's probably the smart play, but you also want to try to learn something. And I love the fact, like for Taylor Gray, who started last, he's passed so many cars, and I love the fact that he's getting that experience of passing cars as well.
I think if
These cars are so slow. I'm not surprised they all gravitate to running single file on the bottom instead of single file around the top, which is what we've seen in Cup and Xfinity over the years.
Why is Brett able to make it work?
Lap times have picked up a lot. They're in the 51s now, gang.
Exactly. He's learning all these things for the first time. He's listening to his RPM, like right here. He's going to pull back. Okay, Frankie's now listening to his RPMs drop. Okay, why did that happen? How can I do that to somebody else?
This is the battle for 9th right here. Frankie Muniz on the bottom. Brett Holmes.
That's created a
Holmes, I've said it all race long so far. Holmes and Jack Wood are going places.
Right here for the 69 is Scott Melton.
Ooh. Goddamn, but Carlo. 73 really did save his ass there. Scott Milton got a huge break there from Andy Jankowiak. I don't know how to pronounce these fuckers' names, so I don't know who they are.
Yeah, and again, you think it's relatively easy to ride around with your left side tires on the double yellow line, but these cars will jump around. The air will move these cars around a little bit too, so it's not always that simple just to keep that car against a double yellow line. We saw that for Scott Melton in the 69.
Onboard camera froze.
Right along with Gus Dean. Gus right now running in the 4th spot. That's Amber Balkan doing an awesome job right in front of Gus. Amber's in the 15 car.
Doing an awesome job. Doing what? Riding single file? Like, damn. The ARCA guys are so untalented. It looks like they struggle to run single file around the bottom together.
A lot going on for Venturini Motorsports.
I love the way the back of the ARCA cars look, and I think that's contributed to why the super speedway racing has improved a bit in ARCA. The cars don't look as wide as the Cup cars do, or even the Xfinity cars. Maybe I'm wrong. They look like they're taller. You would almost think you're behind a truck looking out of the front camera of Gus Dean's car. Looking at Amber's car in front of him. And Jack Woods 3 wide in the middle. Outside line's all busted up again because of it.
And tough part is if you're Brett Holmes and you're working this hard, you see Taylor Gray's able to actually make his way up the 3rd car in line. What's frustrating is that
top 5 has been comfortable this whole race.
Single file is because of that restart. These restarts are so important with positioning yourself, being able to have the opportunity to run in front of the field. So obviously, quite a few guys got caught sleeping there at the beginning of the race, and I think that's why we're single file here.
And Jesse Love with that big start, as you mentioned. In the 20 car, he's led all 14 laps so far today. Perez behind him, Amber Balkan, Gus Dean, Scott Melton, your top 5.
I'd say these top 5 or 6 cars all really have the opportunity here to really feel the small things about your race car. When you're running in the single file line, you're really
well, they sure are riding around, aren't they? Come on, goddammit, I want to see an ARCA race.
An issue there is a 53. They're going to need to change that on the first round of stops. We'll be back after this.
Is that the hood trying to come up on the 53? Well, we're 15 laps in and nothing's happening. Michael, I think since it's a super speedway, we're going to chase the money later today in Xfinity. I'm going to text you now just to confirm it. Give me Parker Kligerman. We're going to chase the money. It's a super speedway. That's a good opportunity to chase some money. Everything in me says take Creed, but I'm pretty sure Austin Hill's going to win anyway, so it really doesn't matter who you take. Whoops, dropped my phone. So yeah, Parker Kligerman for Xfinity. Well, hello, Ozzy. Oh, we have a crash. It's Gus Dean. Oh, I'm sorry, not Gus Dean. Greg Van Alst. I read the number wrong. Looks like he's single file here. Little stack up. Ooh, big stack up around 3rd place with Gus Dean and the 69 and the 73. And what the fuck happens to the 35?
Yeah, it's such a head of steam. Those cars are off the throttle.
What the fuck was the 69 doing? Can we get a better camera shot of that? You can't see shit from that angle. Do they not have the camera looking straight down the backstretch?
Yeah, I think what started all this, it looks like the 15
Here's the camera. We'll see whose fault it is here.
To dive to the bottom, that's why everybody gets all stacked up. And
the fuck is the 69 doing?
Faded low. The car in front of him was kind of fading down.
Scott Melton just nearly killed
and unfortunately Greg Van Alst was there.
Greg Van Alst.
Remember, we talk about spotters.
Look at that lack of effort to slow down there by the cars that barely missed that. That's fucking hilarious.
Back, but it's hard to see which lane people are in.
Especially when you have such quick movement through the field, such a speed differential, like you mentioned. Looks like the 35 car was shot out of the cannon, and he probably wasn't just quick enough to react.
The fucking 35's got his left sides down below the old line and a car underneath him past that. Like, where's he supposed to go? Fucking 69 just killed him.
And made contact.
I think we got in-car here with Greg Van Alst.
I imagine as slow as these cars are, they get great fuel mileage, but even they can't make it from here. Ooh, we got an onboard of his brains getting scrambled here.
Yeah,
ooh.
Just along for the ride at this point. Really fortunate that
no, Ozzy, I can't make it stop raining.
Incident. Obviously, there was contact that precipitated this, but nobody came along and ran into him. Tough break for Greg Van Alst. I know how much he wanted to back up that win from Daytona.
Oh, yeah, he did win Daytona. Heard it was a great race.
Here is the point leaders. That's something else he's considering. He's full time in the series, but really good to
see. Frankie Muniz is going to be leading the points after this.
Well, that point lead was one of the things he said coming in today that he really wanted to lead with, because qualifying, when it doesn't happen going forward, goes off of the points. So that was going to be huge for him as the season progresses. But I was listening in on the scanner right after this incident happened. And
how did Parker Kligerman have better odds than Brandon Jones, who's driving a Junior Motorsports car that's won at Talladega before? I know Brandon Jones has shit luck right now.
What Brandon was telling him over the radio right before that accident, which is what led to, unfortunately, it happening.
Which Junior Motorsports car is going to fuck it up for the entire team today?
Just a part-time crew. They don't have a single full-time member on that team. They've got police officers, electricians, fabricators, plumbers, fence builders, you name it, but none of them are full-time in the race shop. So it's going to be a long couple of weeks as they get ready to move on.
Isn't that racing? The highs of the world. You win at Daytona, and now you're done early. First car out, Greg Van.
Well, we had our first avoidable incident here today.
Could have done anything different. I agree.
First of many.
18 laps in. First caution of the day.
And then look at how nobody behind slows down to try to avoid the wreck. Keep your foot in it, boys. Look at that. Fishtailing down the back, swerving to miss the wreck because they won't slow down to miss the wreck. Kligerman pays 30. Like I said, might as well chase the money. It's a super speedway. He was really good at Atlanta. He was right there with Hill. He was with Austin Hill every step of the way during the Atlanta race. I think a Chevrolet is going to win. Just because they got the numbers. Is there a Chevy prop bet for Xfinity? I would take that. Chevy's definitely going to win the Xfinity race. Ozzy. Hey, look, it's Dale Jr. and Brandon. I want to hear this commercial.
Water heaters in stock
It's Dale Jr. and Brandon Jones.
Money now. Low prices, lower energy cost.
Man, what an awesome store. I'm proud to have them as a partner. Let's go.
Dale Jr. in a Menards commercial. I don't think did anybody ever win in NASCAR in a Menards car more than Dale Jr. in the top 3 series? I mean, well, if we said top 3 series, I'd say Crafton, but One of my favorite diecasts I have is a Dale Jr. number 81 Menards car from 2006. It's a 124. It's one of my better diecast cars I have. It's very good quality.
ARCA Racing on FS1 is brought to you by
I want to get more diecasts. It just costs too much fucking money.
And by Bounty. Bounty, the quicker picker.
But I feel like I need more diecasts to justify the collection.
And Amber Balkan, you saw in the replays there.
What happened to her? They're
They're
backing her up to the garage.
Started it. Now she's on pit road, and this is not a good sign. As
She was running third.
Back up pit road.
What's left of your screen?
And she really checks up off of turn 2, and it stacks up the 25 and the 69. She knows she's down in power, so she gets the hill off the track. And the 35, I don't blame him. He had a huge opportunity to gain some spots there, and then the 69 wiped him out.
We think Scott Melton pulled down to try to get behind Gustine.
Pulled down to get behind him. Well, he misjudged that by about 30 feet.
Unfortunately for Amber, there's not really a whole lot you can do. You see,
Gustine's lucky he got away from this clean.
So
Yeah, you're getting pushed. It's ARCA. Nobody's lifting. You saw the cars behind the wreck. They certainly didn't lift.
I'm not sure there's much Amber can
But
unfortunately do.
Amber Balkan's in the garage. That sucks. She was running third.
Really unfortunate for Amber Balkan, who's racing now for Venturini Motorsports, finished 6th at Daytona.
Rally Herb's driving
And
for Rick
David
Ware
Ray
Sunday. Interesting.
For some fuel, and what you can do here, under any caution, you can come in, you could take fuel and tires. You can't take them simultaneously. So you see they came in and opted to take some fuel. Jamie?
Well, for Amber Balkan, back in the garage area, the initial problem they thought was in the clutch, so she did come to pit lane. It just wasn't shifting, it wasn't changing gears, as you saw it on the racetrack, and so they thought it was the clutch. Brought her in, trying to fill up the reservoir, trying to get it back into the car. After doing that, and once they were executing all of the changes, Amber came back over the radio to the team and said, "It's not the clutch, though. It's more than that." She said when she goes to the throttle, it still isn't going anywhere. The revs are just going up. So that was when they made the decision to push her back to the garage area, get her out of the way, and try to get to the root of the problem.
So certainly her day is not over, but not what she had. Certainly an issue with
Still
the
riding
team.
under
This is
caution.
the only race she has planned for the rest of the year. Hoping for more, though, for Amber Balkan.
I regret streaming this. Does anybody actually watch ARCA regularly? Do they have like a regular fan base of viewers other than the families of the dumbass drivers? They gotta be the only people that like actually seek out this shit. Shut up, Ozzy. You guys hear that Ricky Stenhouse, the number 47 team, was one of the best performing pit crews all season, but they're on loan from Roush. So this week Roush took them back and gave them to Chris Buescher. I just heard thunder. Well, my power goes out. You know it's storming. Let me go ahead and give you a heads up. It's storming, so if the power goes out. You know the deal. Oh my God, it's a Haley Deegan commercial. Look at Haley Deegan pretending she has more than 6 brain cells. That's one hell of an actress.
A storied career for the ARCA General Series here at Talladega. Some of the notable winners. Look at an old Mark Martin. So cool to see him win it back in the
How about
day.
6 combined wins for Davey Allison and Red Farmer?
Briscoe's at 25 to 1. Well, I count Briscoe out.
He raced 9
Bubba's an intriguing proposition for Sunday. The Toyotas, I would say Hamlin, Bubba,
61st ARCA General
or
Series
Bill
race at Talladega today. 42
would be
different
worth
winners.
looking at.
Who will add to it today, gentlemen?
I think 143.
Yeah.
I like it.
I still think a Ford probably wins Sunday, but we'll see. Why'd the Hendrick cars qualify so poorly?
That's definitely an unplanned pit stop for them, and the issue is all in the radio. They could not hear Taylor.
Taylor Gray's
was
got
able
radio
to hear
issues.
his spotter Nick Payne. He was able to hear his crew chief Matt Ross, but they were not able to hear him. And you have to think about, what is the goal of being here? The goal is all about learning how to super speedway race, and if you don't have that communication, it makes that a lot harder to achieve. So they did have to swap out the radio, and they did make a second pit stop to readdress it, but he just gave me the thumbs up and said we're good to go now.
Thank you for that update, man. That team has had their work cut out for them from the time.
Good
they
God, how
were
long is this
yesterday. They
caution?
got on track for a few practice laps. Realized they had an issue in the engine. They had to swap that out and drop to the back. And now radio communication problems. But it's Talladega. It's not over.
That's right. Well, I love the fact that he was able to hear his spotter and his crew chief. That's the most important part. Yes, he needs to give them feedback, but the way more important part is to be able to hear your spotter.
Well, we keep saying it's a big weekend here at Talladega. All kinds of things going on, but we do have a triple header. We've got the Xfinity Series.
Damn,
after
Chase
us.
Elliott lost his.
Tomorrow,
Chase Elliott got hurt and lost his
Series
spot on the
returns
promo
to
forever.
Boston. The series heads right here to the high banks. We're excited for that action.
Justin, I would not consider Kyle Busch a dark horse tomorrow. Like, really? The guy was leading with, 3 to go in the Daytona 500? Kyle Busch is not a dark horse. He's a solid super speedway racer with bad luck. But I know.
And he's checked into release
I wouldn't
now
say a
from the
dark
Infield
horse.
Care Center. Came into this race as the points
RCR
leader,
was
but
obviously pretty good at super
unfortunately,
speedways
Take us through what happened.
back in February.
Yeah, I haven't seen a replay, so I really don't know.
Well, Greg, you got crashed.
I started checking up in front of me, but there were several cars that were, when they were bouncing off the apron in the center of the corner. Yeah, it's right there. He just drove down on the apron, and looks like the 15 might have broke or something. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he was going. I mean, no one hit him from behind. He just right hooked me. So, gonna have to have a conversation after seeing that replay. That's I don't know. I don't know. That's just well, he looks like Andy kind of hit him. So I don't know. It's tough. You know, we work our tails off to get here. And my dad can't be with us this weekend. He's hoping for a good show. I don't know. It's part of racing, I guess.
Thanks, Greg.
Yes, and Greg mentioned his
Greg
dad
Van
there,
Alst looks
Lewis,
like
is
a
at home and,
middle school gym
battling
teacher.
cancer, and, he's
An
got some
ex-Army
things,
middle
so
school gym teacher.
We're thinking about you, and obviously your son, Greg, loves you and is thinking about you too. But
Finally, we're coming to the green.
That just goes to show you how much this means to these people. You know, obviously his dad fighting the issues he's fighting is.
You know, I can't get away from Buescher, Keselowski, Almirola, Logano for being like probably the group of guys I'd pick from tomorrow.
It's a year, and it means so much.
Well, you do it because you know what the reward is at the end. You know how that feels, and that's what motivates you. That's what's going to get Greg and all his buddies back in the shop and building cars up, fixing that thing up for the next speedway race. That's what makes it hard, but it's what makes it rewarding, right?
We got a couple weeks to do it. Kansas Speedway at 2 Eastern on FS1 is our next race, so they'll get things fixed up and make the trek out to Kansas from Indiana, where Greg Van Alst and his race team is from.
We lost, obviously we lost Greg Van Alst. We also lost Amber Balkin from contention, but a lot of good cars left on the racetrack. As Ty Gibbs is an interested observer.
It looks like he's playing Candy Crush.
Well, he's interested.
Also, did you guys see what Austin Cindric's wearing?
Years ago in this series, and boy, did he climb the ladder quickly.
He's been killing it on Sundays, honestly. He's got a streak of top 10s. He's doing a good job.
Quick learner. guess you could say.
I think these guys are going to be much more organized on this restart. If they've learned their lesson, hopefully they have.
Jesse Love has led every lap so far, all 22. Andres Perez, outside front row.
A lot better start that time for Andres.
Yeah, Jesse Love didn't fire off to a... Whoa, big wreck in the back.
Kitzmiller is one of those cars.
Whoa, what the hell?
Ryan, those are the 57.
How did you wreck into that? Never mind, it's ARCA. Why am I asking these questions? Jesus fucking Christ. What was that 57 doing? And hey, what happened to the ass end of the 97? It's gone.
Right on top of the double yellow line.
Looks like Kevin Hinkle in the 0 involved as well.
It was wild.
Tim Richmond, unfortunately.
Oh, Tim Richmond back from the dead, and now he's going to have to go to the garage.
This car together, I thought it was great yesterday. You see a lot of damage to his car also.
Well, time for another 45 minutes of caution
Exactly what
in this
happened.
boring-ass race that I shouldn't have streamed.
Missed a shift somewhere along the way. It's probably your second or third gear shift right before start-finish line.
These fuckers got lazy. They fell asleep. They were all riding mostly single file for the first 20 laps, and now they've got to wake up and actually react and do stuff again, and they're not ready.
Some really awkward hits there too. Obviously windowing that down, but back into that car's
hard hit.
Can we talk about what a shitty job that this broadcast team is doing? Jamie Little sucks. Austin Cindric, he's funny, but I mean,
Solid run at Daytona, unfortunately.
just a lame broadcast on a lame race.
She has plans, hoping to do more with Celsius on board, and looks like maybe bring it into her day as well.
Logan Misuraka drives for the NASCAR experience here and at Daytona. Was really hoping for a great day today, but she was involved.
All right, who fucked up? Who missed the shift? The 97. 97. What the hell?
I don't know if it just
I ain't never seen anything like that in my life. Hey, he did by on accident what Kevin Harvick did on purpose in 2015.
It's like, obviously, you'd be going from second to third, so that looks like a second to first moment, which slows down the transmission and obviously a lot of wheel speed.
Mandy Chick in the 74. You can ride on board and see what she saw from her perspective here.
She's on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, that was right at that time where that shift was, so that's...
How do they see out their rearview mirrors with that tall-ass spoiler?
Missing a shift and it wasn't, but it's kind of what it looked like, and obviously stacked everybody up, and I don't think anyone, especially that far back in the field, was really expecting it.
There's Tim Richmond up against the outside wall, and he spins down off the outside wall.
Cranked the wheel right to miss it, and obviously got the car bent out of shape out of the track.
How dare you wreck Tim Richmond?
A real good shot in the side from the 66 of Garrett.
This is a pretty
Watch this car come in here at the end.
97 car.
Oh, damn, they cut away from it. I was going to say watch the fucking, I think it was the 57 that just drove in. Locked him. He looked like the Allstate GPS guy in that commercial.
The AMR safety team on the scene quickly. A lot of drivers to tend to after that one.
There's Logan. Good to see her get out of that Celsius car.
And she's okay. All the creepy boomers that follow the female drivers on Facebook are going to be very upset by this one.
For the second time, 52 laps to go from Talladega.
How does the 57 end up in this wreck? Look how long it takes. Who's in the 57? I need a name. Hold on, let me scroll down this leaderboard. Who the fuck is in that 57? 57. Hunter Deschantel? How do you pronounce that? God, there's a lot of weird names. Well, Hunter, open your fucking eyes next time. He had the reaction time of a sloth trying to avoid that one. Here comes the part where we spend 2 hours under caution and they got to cut the race short to get the Xfinity race in. I don't know why we couldn't have the ARCA race on like early Friday evening and then have Xfinity early in the day on Saturday. That's what they used to do. But they used to do a lot of things that made sense, like start every race at 1 o'clock. So there's a chance I might miss the start of the Xfinity race at Dover next Saturday. I'm working with my dad Saturday. We're going to paint, and we'll be home probably by 2:30 at the latest, 2:30, 3 o'clock, and that'll be smack dab in the middle of the Xfinity race. I'll be watching it on my phone while I work and while I ride home. But if I get home with a lot of laps left, I'll start up a stream, and you'll catch me watching the last part of the Xfinity race next Saturday. The only thing that ARCA's doing is making me appreciate the truck series a little more. And I'm pretty hard on the truck series. I should have just live streamed me playing Heat 5 instead of this. You got a new job at U-Haul. Wow. What are you doing at U-Haul? You driving? It's like a question an ESPN broadcaster would ask.
ARCA Racing on FS1 is brought to you by General Tire. General Tire delivers the freedom to explore. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Reese's, not sorry. And cleanup just about complete from that second caution of the day that involved 7 cars. You see them there.
At 57 is Hunter Desatel. That's the
Hunter Desatel, however you pronounce that name.
Owns that car. A long-time competitor.
He gets the ARCA Idiot of the Day so far. He and Scott Milton. They're vying for it right now. I've yet to see anybody top those two and the moves they've made so far.
Trying to piggyback off that great 6th place finish at Phoenix his last time out, as well as I think he had an 11th place finish at Daytona.
Heather talked about it.
Well, Frankie's going to get a good finish today. There's a lot of attrition setting in for sure.
He was at Talladega and he won it. And he said, I am at Talladega. Now I have to go out and win it.
Why don't we see if we can talk to Frankie and see what's on his mind?
Let's do it.
Hey, Frankie, Phil Parsons, Austin Center, Jamie Little in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
Copy. How you guys doing?
Good. Jamie just told us about the dream you had this
Frankie, do you believe your interaction with Dale Earnhardt on February 18, 2001 had anything to do with his death?
You know, it's still a possibility, but I'm just having so much fun. I really love this. I can't get that through enough. I love being in this race car in this series, and hopefully we'll just keep moving to the front.
Doing a great job right now running in the 6th spot, so you've been running around the really good cars.
Well, he's going to keep riding in the 6th spot as long as we stand under caution.
Yeah, I mean, the car feels good. I mean, what I'm doing right now feels fairly comfortable. I don't want to call it easy, you know, because everything I'm doing right now is still a learning experience, right? But no, I feel great, and just the fact that you can be with these cars makes me feel good, right? Because I'm a newbie here, you know what I mean? So the fact that I'm thinking with them makes me feel like, you know, I am where I belong, and hopefully I'll get by them, and, you know, keep going to the front.
All right, buddy. Appreciate your time. Doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thanks so much, guys.
His excitement is just infectious.
I love it. I love it. He's pumped.
Yeah, this has been a lifelong dream of his. It's not like, oh, hey, I'm going to take a break from acting. I want to jump in a race car. He has dreamed of doing this his whole adult life. Won the 2005 Toyota Pro Celebrity Race at Long Beach. He was on his way to being an open wheel guy, but had a change of course and said, I love the ARCA Series. I want to race stock cars.
That's awesome. I know somebody else that won that Toyota Pro Celebrity Challenge race.
I like how we still call them stock cars.
With somebody else in this booth. Not you. If it wasn't me and it wasn't you, who's it going to be?
2 races in my career, and I've got 1 win, so I'm going to stop right there.
You have a better win percentage than me and Phil combined.
Anybody that I know of, actually. Yeah.
Won it back in 2008. It was Mike Skinner. We all know Mike Skinner, right? He was in the field, and he was right behind me. I ended up winning the overall, and it was seriously the best day of my life. Until I had kids and got married, it was the coolest day. And then I got to report on the race the next day, so his name.
Nobody cares.
Nothing better. I get that feel. I get it now. I truly understand what it means to win. So pits are open.
I think we're going to see a lot of takers.
Yeah, you could pretty much make it from here.
We'll come down to complete lap
They just now opened pit road. Like, geez.
I think they can make it.
Oh, we still got at least another half hour of caution left on this caution, so try to stay awake, everybody. Let's see if the running order changes drastically on pit road.
They're going to make a couple adjustments here for him as far as handling goes. They also might make a strategy call to only take 2 tires at this point, so we'll see what they do. Also in the
I'd probably take 4 because you're going to probably wait on fuel anyway, right?
Fuel for him and fuel for the 30.
Fuel only for Frankie.
The Venturini cars, the 25 and the 20, made the decision to stop as well. For Gustine, going to be fuel and tires.
Do they do competitive pit stops, or are they just really slow stops? These don't look like competitive pit stops. I don't know ARCA rules. I never watched. These are so slow they can't be competitive stops.
Also coming in, I talked to his crew chief, Shannon Rush, and he said it's fuel and tires only. He doesn't even want those at this point, but he's getting them anyway. I said, well, can you make it to the end? 48 laps
20's got a problem.
He said, we're going to roll the dice and just try.
We saw Jesse Love there started to gas it up and go, and they told him, hang on, wait a second.
Well, it looks like Frankie's the first off pit road.
But it's been seems like a walk in the park for Jesse Love. He's led every lap so far today.
Unfortunately for everybody else, the 69 of Scott Milton's still out there running, so beware.
Unless they don't beat the pace car out, which should be at least 3 minutes before the pace car would get back around here. So I think it's a great time to come in. Again, I think all these drivers will be in their fuel window, all these teams, and they have the option of coming back in later if they want to.
And this was what brought out our second caution of the day. Collected 7 different drivers. We'll get back to the action after this.
Get back to the action. What action? When's the last time we turned a green flag a lap? Oh, we're back
200.
to the caution laps 200 at Talladega. That's how many minutes we're going to spend under caution in this race, 200. Oh, God, they're starting with the kid. I can't believe it took them this long. We've been under caution for an hour. Michael, what did Kyle Busch say about Corey? I know they've got some heat.
From the infield care center, Logan, take us through what happened there on that restart.
After Martinsville.
Yeah, just a lot of dust in the air. I think it was just restart gone bad, and we just got into the center of it, unfortunately. But we're fine. That's racing. Just a little bit of a replay.
Jack Wood made one hell of a move to avoid that wreck on the restart. Holy Christ. Somebody in ARCA with actual reaction, Tom? As opposed to that 57 there?
You know, it's okay. It happens, I guess. And I hate seeing you like this. I don't like to see you here.
Thanks, Logan.
And of course, she'd rather be talking to her after the race when you had a good finish or even a win. But yeah, getting to interview with somebody for TV from the medical center is not exactly ideal. See Tim Richmond's car being pushed back to the garage.
Rest in peace, Tim Richmond.
Broadcast last year, I got to do that, and I think you guys need to bring us like ice cream or like something just to make us feel better.
Just sweeten it up a little bit.
Sweeten it up a little bit.
They eat
That should be the
food up
best
here
part.
in the booth,
Like,
and then down on pit road, you don't get.
Can somebody bring me some fucking
Jamie,
ice cream?
Talking about take those to the drivers you're
Oh,
interviewing. Not
to
for you.
sweeten you up.
Not for you.
So you're saying you need to carry a backpack of sweets.
I hate this broadcast team.
Well, let's take a look at today's Suchi Fast Track driver. It's the number.
Let's take a look at anything. I mean, we're going to be under caution. We still got another hour and a half to go of caution. So
27 laps.
But every lap that we raced under green,
we were on pit road. They went to commercial. They come back, and we're still riding around. Haven't hit the one to go.
18-year-old from Menlo Park, California. Two-time winner in the ARCA Menards series, but this is the first time he's full-time in this series, so certainly wants to.
Big deal.
You know, he unfortunate at Phoenix, had a great car and got taken out, so he's a little bit in a points deficit.
you can see top 10 and 25 of his 30 starts, so really, really consistent for Jesse Love.
He'd certainly like to get it. How about this look? The bow tie. What influenced that?
Well, I'm always a bow tie guy. I don't even own a regular tie. But I had enough people after, I don't know if it was Daytona or Phoenix, I forget how I dressed for which one, but I had enough people tweeting at me, told me I look like Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, he kind of got the Pee Wee look going on.
Week, so there you go.
I like it.
Eminem in a movie based on Pee Wee Herman. That's what he looks like.
It's true. I gotta. They're custom made pants. They don't make it that long off the shelf, so I gotta get it right.
And the snacks can
Constantly. These are my adult Lunchables, so it's good times.
Keep you fed, keep you happy. Hey, you had to work today. You had to do hot lap out there for qualifying.
One lap.
Yeah.
Heavy workload for me this week. A 3-day weekend, and I'm beat already.
Well, we're happy to have you once again. You're a regular.
He's beat. I don't know how he's still awake watching these cars ride around under yellow.
It's been good. I'm enjoying it. It's been a slow start to this race, though, which is, I really think...
Oh, God, is this going to be the one to go? Are we getting the one to go? Is this it? One to go?
Obviously, we're going to have
one to go?
Five laps.
Hey, one to go.
And,
not many cars left to wreck, but they'll still figure it out.
I think the field's ready.
Remember, competition caution right around lap 38.
Oh my God, we're gonna have a competition caution in this bitch. That couldn't have been. Jesus Christ, I regret this. We're gonna have a competition caution at lap 38. Why? No fucking reason.
As Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor
God almighty, this is terrible.
In the Giants, or the White Sox battle the dominant Rays. It all begins today at 4 Eastern on Fox. A lot of sports going on. But the USFL happening here, right up the street in Birmingham. Great weekend of racing right here in Talladega, Alabama.
Nobody cares.
Well, Jack Wood is going to restart this race on that front row, and one of the reasons they decided to stay out there and not pit when the leaders pitted was because they were going to have more laps on a new set of tires for the end of this race, but having these extra laps under caution to get the field back in order is hurting that strategy. All of the other laps are being run under this yellow.
What, you mean this 45-minute cautions hurt their strategy?
As they were hoping for, his team telling him on the radio right now, just stay calm, it's okay, we can't lose anything when we come down to pit lane, so just keep your head on straight, stay out front, we're going to get back there.
Yeah, these teams will have 8 tires in the pit, so they can change tires twice. Everybody that came down pit road on this caution flag that put tires on also has another set of tires in the pits as well. A lot of the drivers and teams said they weren't sure they would even change tires, so they may be getting a little more tire wear than anticipated. Pretty warm day today.
Eric Caudell, another one that stayed out as well. He's shown as the leader in Jack Wood, outside front row. Andres Perez, he's just turning a pretty wheel so far today in his debut at a super speedway race.
Well, we got some debate about field position here because there's a couple of cars 3 wide mid-pack here coming to the green. Surprised they didn't wave off the fucking restart and ride around under caution for another 30 minutes to sort it out. Because it's really important who's running 15th in an ARCA race. Somebody's going to get black flag back there.
The long drive through the trial.
What the fuck is that 8 car doing?
Start-finish line and green flag once again in the air. Eric Caudell, more of a head-to-head battle on this restart.
Got 2 teammates who were able to link up really well there with Andres and Jack, and really giving the outside lane a chance here. I think
see if the 20 of Jesse Love can get the lead back here in the next 5 laps before we throw another caution for no reason. I love when they throw competition cautions to check for tire wear on tracks where tires don't wear.
Staying pretty close to that yellow line, but you see the 2 Rev cars move down in front of Eric Caudell to take first and second.
So I think that was the right move. Obviously, Jack sitting there waiting to hear that his teammate was clear so he could go down and hopefully be able to control the race from this position. Obviously, the bottom lane being pretty dominant, but still got some pretty good cars stacked up on that outside lane. I wouldn't expect that to go away.
Andy J, that 73 car, the wheeling cars leading that outside line.
A great job getting that side draft, getting all the way up to the front row here.
Got Frankie behind him. He's a couple of car lengths behind him.
Good move by that 73. Oh, he wanted to clear down to the inside. The 2 car was on the apron.
Gustine jumps to the outside, tries to get the outside of Frankie Muniz, didn't quite make it, is going to lose a spot or 2.
Oh! God damn. Hold it straight. 20's passing below the yellow line. I mean, he kind of got forced down there, but and nobody's watching this race. They'll let it slide. That 2 car is really loose running the bottom. That's where he keeps clipping the apron. Jack Wood's the only car on track safer now. There's about to be a wreck here with Frankie.
Andy's just getting out of the pack there. He didn't want any of that.
Oh, Frankie. Car low, buddy.
A push come wrong off the nose of Frankie, but Andy wanted to live to fight another day. That was definitely a better move just to get out of there.
You saw the 44, Jason White, so close to winning at Daytona. He put himself in the right spot when it mattered most, but he got shuffled back. Now he's on the move.
You see what happened when 1 or 2 cars in the outside lane just decide to give up or have a problem, and that really just kills the entire outside lane. You see everyone bailing now.
Here, Andy J has an issue. That car is so strong, trying to battle for the lead.
73 slow down the back.
See the damage to the back of that car.
When you saw the contact, it looked like he was bouncing off another car or 2 as he was making his way on that
He's got a
outside
flat
lane.
left front.
Some smoke from his car as he makes his way down the apron.
See Frankie drop to the back of the Packer. Heather, what's going on with Andy J? Looks like he has some damage.
And as you see here, the 73 of Andy Jankowiak having an issue with that left front tire going down. His spotter, TJ Majors, did a good job of getting him out of the pack and getting him down to the bottom of the track so he get to the apron and come to pit road. His team now reminding him this race is long. We've got a lot of time. So we're going to do our job here on the pit stop and get these tires on and get you back out there. We still have time. We can get the lucky dog.
Let's see exactly what happened as he was making his move on the outside.
He has Frankie behind him.
Ric Flair was on the Joe Rogan Experience. Wonder what stupid shit Ric Flair wanted to whine and be bitter about now. Piece of shit, old man. There's not a more ungrateful, bitter human being on earth than Ric Flair.
Not causing any issues. These guys changing tires. This is when all that beating and banging was going on.
So I think that's entry to 1. on the same.
They're trying to find a desperate replay of this. I mean, you're about to have another 45 minutes of caution here in a couple laps. You can take your time and find the replay then.
And he's going to deliver.
For now, you can at least show us what's actually happening on the track. That's where he got the flat
sure that the
left front.
had gotten there yet to the back of Andy. And obviously, we saw the contact between Andy, and that's ultimately is what led to that cut tire.
No, I think you're right.
Saw Andy running up there in the top 5, doing a really nice job. They're fixing that race car up as he continues to sit on pit road.
Just a couple laps till the competition.
Yeah, one more till the caution.
I think
Fun times.
Here, obviously, Jack
Good God, at least we're halfway through the race.
Perez, Love, Holmes, Breidinger, those are the cars that are really going to have great track position by the time this thing goes yellow.
Jack Wood, 6 laps led so far, and you mentioned Tony Breidinger. It's the best she's been, 6th right now.
Yeah. And again, I think all these drivers are good to go to the end of the race, other than Jack Wood and Eric Caudell. Both of those drivers running in the top 5 right now, but we know they're going to have to pit.
This is so fucking boring. I don't want to watch the rest of this.
His teammate, if they stay like this,
we won't be doing this again.
At this competition caution. See a little damage to the right side of the 2. There was a lot of beating and banging went on the backstretch.
I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Restart's very important. The reason why these 2 cars are in the lead, good restart. Reason why Jesse Love dominated the first part of the race, restart. Drivers are going to have to figure that out and be able to capitalize on those opportunities because
they haven't thrown the caution yet.
Or have problems. Obviously, they all know they got a break coming up.
Wouldn't be surprised if they changed the lap of the caution and didn't bother telling us on the broadcast.
Watching Taylor Gray, he's been jumping to the outside. Nobody wants to go with him, but he's made some moves. He's moved up to the 12th spot. He can get a little help up there on it. We know he has a fast car.
But he's not proven on this style of racetrack, right? You want to have friends, but they've got to be able to trust you and know that your moves are something worth trusting. It looks like he's got a friend there, Frankie Muniz.
Got a friend in Frankie Muniz right there, trying to make them move around Patrick Emmerling in the 53 car.
Thought everybody said the Daytona there's the stupid caution.
Caution flag is out. This is the competition caution.
The totally unnecessary competition caution.
Andy J.
How can you have a competition caution in a race with no competition?
Front for him.
Like you mentioned, Phil, pretty big gap from behind. It looks like the 7 of Caudell was just offset off the corner. I don't know if he was getting pushed.
Well, Yuki, I wanted to try this fucking race, but I greatly regret it. This blows. I don't know how the fuck anybody watches ARCA.
I think Andy J just wasn't
so fucking bad.
He was that far offset, so bit of an unfortunate break, especially after saving the car. And then getting damaged, and now he's probably, I don't know how many laps down.
At least a couple laps down anyway. Yeah, unfortunately, 4 laps down he's being shown right now. But I think it was just, again, whether there was a push on bat or not, it's those cars bouncing off the double yellow line. Again, you try to side draft or whatever, but you have to be cognizant of the fact that those cars are moving around a lot. And unfortunately, that's what bit Andy J there. Again, certainly wasn't his fault.
So that General Tire that was left over from Andy Jankowiak. He has had his repairs done. He's back out on the track. Pit should be open next time by.
Again, even though those cars pitted on lap 28, they have the option of coming back in if they feel like they need to.
And Yuki, you couldn't pay me to fucking watch the XFL.
Again, about 6 or 7 green flag laps since we restarted.
Of course, I should be getting paid to watch this. It's so fucking unenjoyable.
Coming in. Eric Caudell will be coming in the pits as well.
Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., head over to the ARCA Menard Series Twitter and Facebook pages. That's at ARCA_racing to vote on what moment you think was today's sweet move of the race presented by Reese's. And I think we've had a couple so far.
Yeah, but we haven't seen the winner yet.
We have not.
No.
That's always a good.
100% agree.
Sometimes it is good to have the Reese's sweet move of the race because you made the winning move, right?
Right.
Other times, not so much. You're on the other end of it. Pits are officially open. Jack Wood shown as the leader. Remember, he stayed out during the last set of stops at lap 28. Oh.
That's
Is that Andy J, it looks like?
Well, goddamn, now you know we're going to have a long caution. A car stopped on track. This could take hours. This could take hours to get this car off the track.
Clearly got a tire rub, and I guess better to have a flat tire under yellow than under green.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Looks like she tried to nurse it around and probably ended up doing a lot of damage, so she stopped.
What a genius.
She stayed on the lead lap with all the time they spent on pit road for repairs. She stayed on the lead lap, and unfortunately this is it's going to take some pretty major repairs to try to get that car put back together.
Yeah, she was carrying one of our onboards today. Let's see her view.
Oh, jeez. Not ideal. She thought she was in the clear.
Yeah, as you mentioned, fortunately it came under caution.
Pit road is open. Heather?
And Eric Caldell, one of our takers coming down pit road, he's saying right now the car's overheating just a little bit. So they told him, do not turn the car off. You want to cycle the water here. They're also going to bring a fan out to put in front of the radiator to try to cool down that number 7. Jamie Howe?
Well, Jack Wood just made that stop in his pit box. It will be fuel and tires only. His crew chief, Steve Plattenberger, said on the radio, tell me how your car was once you were out front. And Jack responded saying it was perfect. The tri-oval handling is what he was really after. And he said that he had no issues, so they're not going to take the time to change anything. Jamie?
Well, thank you, Jamie. Said it was perfect out front. Well, it's going to be a little while.
He's going to be about 20th when he restarts this race. So,
God.
We know.
This is the longest 76 laps I've ever fucking seen at a race. The end better make it worth it. This could still be saved, but this has not been an enjoyable viewing experience. Xfinity race is at 4.
It's just whether or not there'll be enough cars to get it back to the
Does
front.
anybody here actually watch
Jack
ARCA
Wood will be in
regularly?
this car,
How do you do it?
total of 8 times this year. This is his second one so far this year. We'll step aside as they continue.
Time for another 30, 45 minutes of caution. It was a comp yellow, but somebody had a tire going down and stayed out until it went down and shredded shit everywhere, and now they're parked on the backstretch. What a genius. You can't tell me you didn't feel that fucking tire go down. Hey, you guys see the calling penalty got reversed, and it was NASCAR's call. NASCAR made the decision to give Justin Haley the points back to be fair, since Hendrick got their points back. I think that's pretty swell of you, NASCAR, to actually right a wrong for once. Also, Corey LaJoie goes on his podcast and says he tried to wreck Kyle Busch and gets no penalty, while Denny Hamlin goes on his podcast and said he wrecked Ross Chastain and he got a penalty and was accused of manipulating the race. So, consistency. Corey LaJoie, because he's buddies with Mike Hilton, I guess, is allowed to talk about wrecking people and hitting people, but if Denny Hamlin does it, it's a penalty. Explain that one to me. You can't, because there's no logical explanation behind it. I could probably play the entire Metallica catalog on drums before this race is over. Or before they even go back to green again.
If you want to go to a NASCAR race, an ARCA Menards race, and you've never been...
No, I don't think I ever want to go to another ARCA race. I went to one once because it was for free, basically.
I was in the infield.
Don't think you'll ever catch me at another ARCA race. Charlotte 2019 was my one time. And it sucked as bad as this race.
Last night I threw a 1-pound meatball into the crowd.
Congratulations. Nobody asked Austin Cindric.
There's a lot to do, a lot to see in the infield.
Look at Cindric eating a Lunchable.
When people show up just for
Pee Wee Herman's got his little Lunchable in front of him.
Racing, but you have this vibe at Talladega that you just don't feel anywhere else.
Oh, it's a party, and that's been embraced here, and that's what makes
everything that's going on in the infield is way more exciting than what's going on the racetrack today.
It's got
oh, look, a little kid. Oh my God, actual women of age. Thank you, Fox.
On the boulevard, I actually took a sponsor, like all the...
Ew, a fat mom drinking a beer in a Chase Elliott shirt. No, thank you.
When I was racing Xfinity, took him to the boulevard, and there was about
another little kid.
That thought it was the coolest thing ever. There's about half of them like, we're all getting fired.
Yeah. You didn't lose any of them.
I didn't lose any of them.
Heather, save us.
Well, I'm going to try, but somebody who's not having as
Somebody
fun
save this
or
race.
any fun at all right now is the 32 of Christian Rose. They've been battling a fuel pump issue. Now, in practice yesterday, they had a fuse blow with the fuel pump, and so they only were able to run a couple of laps and really didn't get much practice. So they opted to change that fuel pump, hoping that they wouldn't have an issue, but they have been battling fuel pressure issues the entire race. So he's been sitting on pit road for quite some time, but yeah, he definitely didn't have a good time on Talladega last night, and he's not having a good time right now.
Well, nobody else is having a good time either.
See
So.
that for Christian Rose. Another one is like Greg Van Alst, just lights up, like Frankie Muniz. All three of them, they've waited so long in their careers to get to this point and dreamt about it. So tough break for him.
All right, time for another commercial. I mean, we could be getting one to go right now, but they love to take their time with these cautions in ARCA. It's great. Holy fuck. Every caution is just like a whole ordeal. How the fuck does anybody watch this? I would say I'm looking on Twitter to see what people are saying, but nobody's talking about this because they're probably asleep. Oh.
Menards Series. This is the General Tire 200, and it's one of the General Tire Super Speedway Challenge races. It's race number 2 of 7.
Yeah, look, these are the super speedways, at least a mile and a half or bigger. You see Kansas 2 times at Kansas, Charlotte at the mile and a half, Michigan the 2 mile. Racetrack in Pocono, 2.5 mile, 3-turn triangle, I guess, tricky triangle.
Tricky triangle.
ARCA Menards Series, the schedule, you just love it. They have
hey, little kids playing with a fake car. Isn't that cool?
Pocono. We go to the short track.
Oh my God, we got the one to go. We're going down the back. Holy Christ. We're going to see a green flag lap.
A couple great mild dirt tracks in Springfield and DuQuoin, Illinois.
What we got here?
Helps get these drivers ready.
Perez, Jesse Love, Brett Holmes, the Tony chick. Go, Tony.
He was our first caution of the day. He's going to make his Xfinity Series debut at Richmond for Alpha Prime Racing. So that's something he's been working towards. So I know today was a tough day for him, but something to look forward to. And we just heard from Heather talking about Christian Rose. He too planning on making his Xfinity debut coming up later this season for AM Racing.
That's awesome.
That's what it's all about, right?
That's
You
right.
race here and with hopes that sponsors and teams will notice you and give you a shot to move up.
Jesse Love on the outside now. On this restart, Andres Perez on the inside. Really curious to see how Jack can maneuver. Jack's being shown in the 15th spot after making that pit stop.
Two Venturi teammates lined up in the outside with Jesse and Tony. I think we're going to get racing.
Go Team Tony.
Another Venturini car, third row inside.
I picked Brett Holmes to win the race. He's third.
Quiet, but we know how good Brett Holmes is at this racetrack.
Andres Perez.
I'm not going to get any money.
The control car on the inside. Jesse Love to the outside.
Really good push by Brett Holmes here.
Michael, this race will not end until there's no cars left whatsoever.
Continues pushing the 55, making her way up. Tony Breidinger, the best she's been so far today.
What a push from Holmes to the 2. Get him out front.
I love to see Tony have a
And where's Tony going to go? Tony stays on the bottom behind Holmes.
has had some bad luck.
Make up your mind. Gosh, you should have went to the outside with their teammate. That outside line's coming. They would have had a huge run down the back by now.
Expected that or not.
Idiot.
He's got some good pushers lined up though coming.
He's already got
On the
some
outside.
line back up. I think this outside's going to prevail for a while. We got
Yeah, that outside's still going to come out on top, but damn, if she had stayed up there with her teammates, she'd be in that. Now he's pulled up there, and he's leading it on the outside of Holmes for second.
First time leading at a super speedway.
Now we're actually kind of racing.
Big adjustment,
For now.
looking in the mirror, trying to figure out what you need to do or what you shouldn't be doing. And right here, obviously, big run coming from the outside. What do you do with it?
30 laps to go.
At the top of the show when he was leading that race.
You won't believe how long it can take to run 30 laps, but you're about to find out.
He's done a great job. And Jeff McClure's car to make his way up towards the front.
I think everybody in this front pack has a chance to win this
Right now,
race.
Third row outside. You know how good a car that is.
Let's get more on the 55, Heather.
And Phil was just talking about how Tony Breidinger has really improved here on Super Speedway.
Can't believe she's
She
still
said
running.
Now she has that aggressive mentality needed for this type of racing. She feels more
Oh, God. If she ends up winning this fucking thing, look out.
Really improved on her ability to navigate different lanes and feel
We'll never hear the end of it.
how the air affects her.
She'll already be a more accomplished stock car driver than Danica Patrick, so good for her.
And managing that air to now when you have experience, just what quite a difference it is in your Super Speedway program.
Well, I think it helps you be proactive instead of reactive. It's something I talk about a lot in a lot of facets of racing and being competitive, but it helps you understand what's going to happen, not reacting to something that's already happening. So that's how you get ahead of the competition. That's how you're able to understand.
Now these zoomed-in camera shots. It'd be nice to actually see what's going on, you know.
Tony Breidinger did.
It's like they're
have
trying to
a
zoom in and
moment.
see Tony in her car while she's driving.
To third row on the inside. Looks like maybe Gus Dean, your teammate. Maybe got
Shout out to Gus Dean for being the one ARCA driver to let off there and let somebody gather it up.
Meat in the sandwich there a little bit.
Yeah, had her hands full there for a moment.
So good
That's
job
what
by
you're
him.
behind
He didn't
somebody
totally kill her.
If they're on the bumper, the back bumper of the car in front of
Jesse
them,
Love
really
clearly
where
has the
to go.
best car.
That's when you rely on your spotter. You have to be getting that
The outside line has not prevailed all day, but this is the strongest it's been, and it's because he's leading it. And there's a lot more cars behind it now.
So you got room to push. Those are really critical information for you to be able to make the right decision.
And that's why I think it's so important for these ARCA drivers to have really experienced spotters up on top of the grandstands.
Still got enough of a pack here to really have a good race. Because, you know, if you lose too many cars, there's just no energy in the pack.
This is his home track. He told me he has, I think, 30 to 40 friends and family all here supporting him like they are every year. Last year they thought it was going to be their
Ooh,
time.
Holmes there. Ooh, get off him, man.
Brett Holmes, who we're talking about, second in line on the bottom there.
It's going to get Jesse Love the lead on the top. Holmes stacking up behind the 2 again.
and being able to pull them back. This is the best outside.
God damn, I thought a couple of cars were going to go to the outside wall there. What a move by the 18. Taylor Gray. And Jesse Love saw it coming and moved up to block, but oh, he left the door wide open. Taylor Gray's going to take the lead 3 wide in the middle. And they're stacking up behind him on the inside line. It's going to give Taylor a chance here. Although the two's got the shortest way around. That 20 is so strong. He is so strong. Oh my God, guys, they're actually racing now.
Obviously, Jesse was too late on that block and probably didn't expect everybody to go 3 wide.
I didn't see if he had damage. I got to be honest. I haven't been paying much attention. This race has been kind of shit until about 5 laps ago. Tony, that's an apron. Tony. Ooh, she got a flat or something. I thought she was just going to send it off in the corner like Michael Waltrip did that one time and shoot up the apron and take everybody out. Jesse Love's car is so good. Taylor Gray made an unbelievable move, but it didn't even hurt the 20 at all. He got the lead. He got back to the front immediately.
Jesse Love second. This is what happened to Tony Breidinger in the 55.
Oh, she got hooked again by Gus Dean. But they still didn't wreck. But she's lost the lead pack now, so she's done without a caution. She'll be lapped here in about 10 laps or so.
That's all just because they're going over that tunnel bump.
And I was just looking at our scoring monitor, and it said 27 laps to go. Now it's 26. So I'm thinking to myself,
about 15 laps from now, she'll get lapped.
Pushing and shoving right now. Let's wait till there's inside of 10 laps to go if we're going to do any pushing and shoving. And unfortunately, that went bad for Tony.
2.66 mile racetrack, like you said.
2.66 mile racetrack. What happened to Lewis?
Got to breathe, think about it, and make your moves.
Pretty sure Lewis was in a wreck.
Jamie Howe? And Tony Breidinger was right behind the number 23 of Brett Holmes before going down low. And one of the things that they were talking about over the radio between Brett and his spotter, Reed Sorensen, was the fact that he doesn't know who all of the spotters are that are up on the stands with him, which cars they go with here in this series. Reason being, it's Brett's spotter in the truck series.
I know, I lost track. They were under caution for like a fucking hour.
So he's trying to figure out who to go.
They were under caution for so long, I mentally checked out of this race.
Because if you're at a truck race or an Xfinity race or a Cup race, you know who all the spotters are. Even though they maybe do all 3 series, you know who Austin Cindric's Cup spotter does on Saturday. You know who his spotter does on Friday or whatever for the truck series. Here in the ARCA series,
what a great camera shot! You can't fucking see anything. They had the in-car camera of Holmes and had it facing the fucking A post on the right side of the car. Oh wow, we can see so much there.
This doesn't look like it's Taylor Gray's first Speedway race. Obviously, he's got the experience from the...
Wow, Fox, onboard cameras sure do exist, don't they?
A lot of really good side drafts, and he's single-handedly, I think, holding this outside lane in contention to grab that lead.
I was talking to Taylor, that you have to be 18 to run these super speedways, but you're allowed to test at Daytona in the off-season underage. You just can't go back to the race, and Taylor said he did. He did that a couple years ago.
Oh, God, who was that?
Drafting. When he was about 16 years old, and obviously that's coming to fruition here.
That Costner?
Taylor Gray, maybe his first time here at a super speedway.
Yeah, it was. Costner came off a 4 and he drifted and shot back down in line.
18-year-old, and I'm impressed with what this team has done. They had to stay late last night changing an engine. In the start of the race, had to come down pit road. They had some radio issues, so he's had his work cut out for him. But here he is up battling right now in the top 5.
All these drivers doing a nice job of negotiating around the lap car. Sometimes that really creates some havoc when you come up on the lap car.
See, sneaking back into here is Jack Wood. He's all the way back up to 11th. Just shucked another car out to get 4th in line on the outside lane. Going back down to
there was a piece of debris in turn 3 somebody ran over. I think it was harmless.
Yeah, inside, outside, wherever there's a little momentum.
Please don't throw a yellow for it. For the love of God, we'll be here for another 2 hours.
Taylor Gray, the man leading the outside lane. Here's Jamie.
One of the refreshing parts of the story of that number 18 Joe Gibbs Racing team saying Leighton to swap out that engine was the fact that Taylor Gray stayed with them. He didn't physically help them in any way, but he stood there, he watched on, he supported him. He said, we came as a team. We are leaving the racetrack today as a team.
Emmerling is, I don't want to compliment him too soon because it's an ARCA race, but he's doing a great job. He's pushing guys the right way in the corner. He got to the far right rear of Taylor Gray before he pushed him, and he's giving him a hell of a shove down the back.
Ties
almost tandem draft. Got up to the door of the leader there before he had to back off.
One day you're going to drive one of my race cars, and that was an agreement they had. This is the first
And now the
time
18 has
ever
no
had
fucking help. The 53 is like 3 car lengths back, and they're trained up on the bottom here.
is doing everything he can to make the most of it. I'm very fitting. as
Watch
you're
that
talking
93
about
back
him
there.
and
He's
Billy
looking to make big
Gibbs. We
moves.
Lost him suddenly the last race last year. But then,
There he
yeah,
goes.
Taylor
He goes to
Gray
the
battling
outside. He
up
put
there
Emerling
for
3
the
wide.
race. He could
Nobody went
shuffle
with him.
back a little bit in that
93,
second
give him
race.
credit. Costner, he's making a lot of moves.
He had a good
Caleb
goal to
Costner.
back one and lost all his stuff. Now he's got, Pat
None of them are
Taylor
working,
going
but
up his rear bumper as well as Sean Core, that 8 car.
I tell you what,
he's
I
not
thought
riding
it was a
around.
Stellar tandem push to the back of the 18 car, got him all the way to the front row. But outside lane just clearly not organized right now. I think it has the speed. I think when we talk about Brett Holmes wanting to go up to the outside, that's what you're going to have to do to make moves.
Oh, man, you're going to go to commercial now that it's actually good. You couldn't get all your commercial breaks out of the way under the 2 hours of caution we had. ARCA should have stayed with the Gen 4. Well, I've been wondering, and I've been wondering this in NASCAR as well, like in the Cup Series. When they built the Gen 6 car, why not build it with the aerodynamic properties of the Gen 4 with the safety features of the COT? Why the fuck did we have to reinvent the wheel and make these cars suck even worse? Because it trickled down to ARCA. Like, it's simple. You build a super late model that basically has the safety features of a COT. It can be done. But that's not good enough. And now the current Cup cars, there's a lot of positives to it, but the negative side is shifting on short tracks. Goodyear's too scared to build a tire that'll fucking wear at most racetracks for it, so the racing suffers on that end. And they're a lot more like sports cars than they are, NASCAR race cars that we've seen for the better part of 40 to 50 years. I don't understand. It's not. We know what it takes to build a car that will put on a good race. You see it in the Cars Tour. You see it in super late models. You saw it in the Cup Series from the late 90s until about 2007. I mean, the COT certainly got to the point where it was a very fun car to watch. 2011, 2012 are 2 of the best seasons of NASCAR I've ever seen, and I've been watching since the 90s. But it's not hard to build a race car. It's like they don't learn. NASCAR just ignored all the problems that the Gen 6 car had and just doubled down on the shit. Xfinity cars are the closest thing we have to how a NASCAR race car should be. They're pretty damn good everywhere. And Chandler Smith said recently they drive like a super late model. He says they're so similar to a super late model. And I'm like, dude, that makes sense to me because they seem to race like them. Yeah, the Gen 7 car was, it was too stiff. They've obviously worked on that. They've improved in that area. But it was built too stiff. It was a fucking safety hazard. Quite possibly ended Kurt Busch's career, although Kurt says he plans to come back next season. Some way, shape, or form. I hope he does. But yeah, the Gen 6 afterbirth affected ARCA more than any other series. It killed the racing in ARCA. ARCA was always kind of a joke, but you would see some fun races. I used to love watching Daytona and Talladega and ARCA every year. I loved that. And then as soon as they got the Gen 6 shit going in ARCA, it was not worth watching anymore.
Being a development series, look at this. Where are they now? Recent Talladega winners. Justin Haley, got to talk about him every time you come to Talladega. Corey Heim, he just won the Truck
There's some
Series
good
race.
shit about the Gen 7, but it's also got a lot of the dumb shit from the Gen 6 that they just refuse to go back on. Because NASCAR can never admit when they're wrong. That's why they're obsessed with not giving horsepower back under any circumstances. They said, we're not giving horsepower back. It costs too much money. Denny Hamlin flat out said, by the way, since we've cut horsepower, the engine bills have gone up. It's not changed anything. They're not cutting cost. They just refuse to admit they were fucking wrong and are doubling down on it stubbornly. We're never giving horsepower. We're never giving horsepower. No. They're lucky. They want to cut horsepower, if anything. Because they don't want to look like they were wrong.
So good luck to him as Andres Perez continues to just.
Oh wait, we got a long single file train here. Everybody's kind of in this top 5 or 6 position themselves for the end of this race, and we've hit 16 to go now.
I like that. With 16 laps to go, let's
I picked Brett Holmes to win. He's riding in 3rd. outside of, I know the 2 car of Perez leading the race, but Jesse Love's got the best car. Picked Holmes to win, and I think Jack Wood is going to have a good shot to win. I think the winner is going to be one of those 3, Love, Holmes, or Jack Wood.
And he ran the truck here last year and ended up 3rd, I believe. So it's just one of those places.
Well, you can't go back to the Gen 4 car. They're not safe. If it's not as safe as the COT or the Gen 6, you cannot race it.
One of their sons is getting married in Auburn later today. He's in the wedding, not just going, so he's in the wedding.
That's the only good thing about the Gen 6 was the safety features. Then it was basically just from the COT.
What if he wins?
He wants to get his photos done here.
Yes,
It's real simple. Get rid of shifting on short tracks and add horsepower. Boom. It's a simple fix, but they act like it's so fucking complicated. I said last week after Martinsville, if last year's spring Martinsville race was a 1 out of 10, last Sunday was probably a 5, but that's still not good. Last Sunday was a 5 out of 10 compared to last year, which was a 1 out of 10, so it's improved. But as long as they're shifting and there's no tire wear, you're not going to see good racing. Richmond was only really good because of the tire wear. Tire wear saved Richmond. Multiple lines and tire wear.
Jesse Love that's right behind him. They're telling him over the radio, you know, you can take advantage of it. He doesn't know how to do this.
I think Coda was a very good race.
I think it's worth pointing out that it's just an unknown. We don't know what Andreas can do at one of these tracks before, but he certainly is doing a good job controlling it right now, Heather. And the 9 of Sean Court right now, he said, hey man, it's about 15
I feel like Perez de Lara is a sitting duck.
And they said somebody should make a move here soon, but they're talking about the 30 car.
The 2's a sitting duck.
He's saying there's some smoke coming from him, so they're debating on whether or not to stick with the 30 when guys decide to make a move here. But
Frankie's got smoke coming out.
When he comes to Talladega, it's a different race. Something crazy will happen, or they'll have a smooth day. But today, something's missing for him and his team, and that is his dad, John.
I live in fear of the day NASCAR decides to fuck up the Xfinity Series car.
So unfortunately, he was unable to be here, but we're going to give him a little shout out because he's watching Sean's dog, Ellie, for him, and they sure do miss him here at the track.
Yes, certainly hats off to him. And Sean Court knows how to get it done around here. He had a great run at Daytona, finished 3rd, so he's putting himself in a good position.
A tough spot when you're in Sean Court's position right now at the tail end of this lead draft is that you're kind of at the mercy of what.
It's a 9-car line here at the front of the field.
He's at a big threat of losing this pack.
Yeah, and he's running wide open.
He's running wide open.
You're really vulnerable if you're the last car in a draft, and really those cars behind him are a little bit too far back to help him. Probably once those cars catch him, if he loses a little bit more ground, then that will probably pick up the pace a little bit. But yeah, tough situation to be that last car on the lead draft. Looked like he gained a little bit back right there, though.
And he's trying to pass somebody. He's trying to pass Frankie. Hell, he passed him. It worked for him. Now the 8's not the last car. Frankie Muniz is the last car on the lead pack. So that was actually a good move. I thought that was going to fuck them both. What in the hell's going on up here? Snaking around a lap car. That looks sketchy.
He's going to stay to the outside now for a moment, it looks like. Hoping that Frankie might go with him. That's Scott Melton. We haven't talked a lot about Scott lately. Started up front. Has done a nice job staying in this lead draft up in the top 10.
Great comeback for Melton. Last year, we saw that horrific crash here, broken leg, had to be airlifted out of here, and he said, I couldn't get back soon enough. I think it took 3 months. Came back at Pocono last year, ran at Daytona, and he just loves it. Just does not care. Nothing's going to hold him back, and doing a great job today in the top 10.
That's a good shot.
Oh, the 93 smoke. Caution's out. 93 has a problem. Right front went down.
Ooh, right front tire down.
Oh, boy, here's where all hell breaks loose. Costner's one of the most aggressive drivers on this run. It didn't really pay off.
Big issue here. Caution out for the 4th time. He was running 12th at the time.
Austin talks about restarts. I don't know that we're going to have a more important restart than this one after this caution.
Everybody's good on fuel.
Obviously, we hope it's the last caution flag for sure.
Especially the guys who pitted at the competition caution and not before.
There, but I think that definitely bailed out Sean Court, Frankie Muniz, Scott Melton.
How about Tony Bryden?
Tony got bailed out. She fell all the way back to 16th after she nearly got wrecked, but she'll be back at least in the lead pack now. We'll see what happens. Too far back to do anything.
That are pretty aggressive. looks like the field's waiting on the pace car there.
Are you saying this might not be the last caution?
It might not.
This is not going to be the last caution, but at least the racing's picked up now, so I'm actually invested. Sorry, I was all doom and gloom earlier, but goddamn, that was a rough little patch we went through.
25 laps. Rev Racing, they just continue their success. Teams are buttoned up. Those race cars are so good week in and week out, running the two-car organization. Won the championship with Nick Sanchez last year, and of course just helped that young man, pushed him into the truck series, and what he's done already, he's such a quick study, and you know, I think Andres Perez is another one.
But what a pedigree that has come out of Rev Racing, and Max Siegel, who was just honored by the North Carolina Press Association with all he does for the diversity of our sport. And here's some of the graduates of Rev Racing. These guys are pretty good. I don't know, you know, Kyle Larson, he does pretty well. Suarez already winning the Cup Series. Bubba's won a couple times in the Cup Series, and also you race against these guys every Sunday.
No, there's some of the best in the business, and obviously coming from that program really shows how well they do with some of these younger drivers. Obviously watching Nick Sanchez.
Doesn't ARCA have unlimited overtime attempts, even on the white flag? Like if there's a wreck on the white flag, they'll restart again with one to go.
For some of these guys to go out and really learn what it takes to be the best.
Really good people on board as well. Jamie Jones, we saw him a moment ago. Steve Plattenberger, longtime crew chief, was my crew chief back in the Busch Series back in the day. Some really, really good people there.
Max and Jennifer Siegel doing a really nice job. It's good to have them now in the truck series with that two truck, that alliance with Kyle Busch Motorsports. I have a feeling their first win with Nick Sanchez over there won't be long.
Just around the corner, there's Jamie Jones right there, crew chief for Rev Racing.
Let's take a look exactly what brought out this caution.
Oh, wow.
Caleb Costner.
Really bad.
His tire went down going into 3, and he hit the wall really hard.
Trying to get out of the car, but that was, I mean, he went straight from the bottom all the way to the top. See the tire marks that are left on the racetrack from that one. So.
Big hit for Caleb. He's another one of those, such a neat story. Yeah.
Damn, that was a hell of a hit.
AMR safety crew gets to him quickly.
Yeah, I don't think I ever blew a right front tire that I didn't feel it. I wasn't fortunate enough to be able to hit safer barriers like Austin like we have nowadays. But
back in my day, we didn't have safer barriers. You bunch of pussies.
That one is, I'm sure he wasn't expecting.
Let's go to the country kitchen buffet.
Quite suddenly. At least that one definitely seemed out of the looks of it.
Caleb Costner was a racer and then realized, well, I better do something and have a plan B and make some money. So he became a police officer.
Oh, well, good for him.
Quite a while. But now he said,
In his quest to persecute minorities, he became a police officer. I'm kidding.
You know, he said, I want to show her to live.
Not every police officer, but goddamn, that's such an easy joke to make.
To help pay for racing, and here he is, such a nice young man from the Charlotte, North Carolina area.
I will never not talk shit about the police.
Obviously a huge hit for him, but glad to see that he was out on his own and standing on both legs, seemingly just fine.
Yeah, similar story to Greg Van Alst. He started racing, actually ran a couple ARCA races back 20
Is Frankie
years
gonna
ago.
pit here?
He realized that if he was going to do this, he needed to make a living and to be able
Cruise
to
up on the
pay
wall
for it.
with the pit sign and
he did that,
tires.
And then started running late models and stuff around the ARCA series, CRA series. And
There's so few cars on the lead lap. If you're not running top 5 or top 10, you can get away with pitting.
I guess is the moral of the story, right?
That's exactly right.
So that's Frankie Muniz's team.
Oh, pit road's open and he didn't come in.
That
So,
report that
okay.
There was some smoke, and it looked like they were ready for him to come.
Ew.
Yeah, but right now we have 16 cars on the lead laps.
9 laps to go here at Talladega. The fans are enjoying it.
9 laps to go, and they're going to run 7 of them under caution here, probably, for a single car accident. Why did you say come with that? That's what I was wondering. Jesse Love or Brett Holmes is going to win this race unless they wreck. cool the sun's come out. Raise the window again. It stopped raining. Lots of people have tuned in for the only part of the ARCA race ever worth watching. The end.
To Talladega Super Speedway as we're under caution for the 4th time. But what a day. It's so beautiful. Fans hanging out, snacks all around. It's been a special place, though, for many drivers. Look at that. Who is it?
That's Kyle Larson.
In the white hat.
Kyle Larson is white.
That's Clint Boyer, ain't it?
Boyer's down there too.
That's a fucking Boyer in the cutoff sleeves.
So they're going on a Harley ride here coming up. And look at this, back in 1988.
Ah, Phil Parsons winning a Talladega race.
That was a pretty good day.
Our own man, Phil Parsons, drives it to victory lane in the
Stud, man. Have an ace today.
Yeah.
Look at the hair.
The same guy. Look at this. It's the same guy.
I mean, the hair.
A lot of days I've aged.
But you don't look it.
Yeah.
Phil, I know your passion for this racing in general, every form of it, but what's it like to look back and see that moment?
It's fun. I mean, you almost, you go years and never really see any video of it or whatever, and it's always in the back of your mind. But it's nice to every now and then to go back and remind yourself that, you talk about when you won the Toyota Pro Celebrity Race. What a big moment that was. And my entire lifetime, my brother started racing when I was 5 years old. I wanted to drive a race car my entire lifetime. And to win at this level, it was so special. Austin knows that feeling as well, especially the Daytona 500.
And that'll be replayed your entire career. Pretty special. All right.
Restart start. Big restart here.
Wow, a quick caution. They're capable of this? Where was this the rest of the race? We're getting the green with 7 to go.
Jesse Love.
I thought for sure we'd ride around till 2 or 3 to go.
Restarting on the outside, Brett Holmes.
All right.
And Gus Dean.
Love being on the front row is bad news for everybody. He's going to fucking win this race. Brett's nailed these starts and restarts today. You saw at the very beginning of the race. Although there's not much of a push in that outside line. Now it's just a battle of side draft here in the corner. 2's got the shortest way around. 20's got a faster car. Whose line's going to catch them first? They're both getting caught by the car behind them right about the same time.
Yeah, there's going to be no getting in line and just lining
Nope,
up here.
no more riding around. Big push on the top. Big push. Gus Dean shoves Love way out front and then goes to the bottom with him, and they cut in front of the 2.
I think this is going to really hurt the outside lane.
Huge push.
Jesse Love, Gus Dean, teammates.
Nearly wrecked there at about 5th place.
Perez right behind them, and Brett Holmes trying to win at his home
Well,
track.
now that the 20's out front, I'm going to have a hard time seeing anybody beat him without wrecking him. 6 to go. Fox Sports 1's glitching out.
Brett Holmes wants to go. He and Jack Wood both have been the 2 hungriest guys making moves. So I'd expect a move to come from one of those 2 guys before anywhere else.
Yeah, that's that white car in the 5th spot. That's Jack Wood. Jack doing a nice job here. Trying to make his way back after pitting behind after most of these cars did.
Oh, damn.
Frankie Muniz was on the outside. He got down to the bottom.
They're 3 wide. They're going in turn 3. Ricky's got a good push right behind him, it looks like.
Well, I can't believe they got single file again that quickly.
2 teammates leading the race.
You're going to need a small army to beat the 20.
Yeah, obviously one's racing for points, one wants another win. But how does that play out?
A couple teammates, too, third and fifth with
5 to go.
Perez and Jack Wood.
9-car breakaway again.
All Chevrolets. Remember, 2 Toyotas up front, and then
Really an 8-car breakaway. Frankie lost touch with this group.
right behind him, third, fourth, and fifth.
5 laps to go here at Talladega.
Scott Melton doing a great job in the 6th spot. I talked to the car owner, Bill Kimmel. He said, man, we'd love just to roll that truck car back on the truck after this race. And if they could do that with a top 10 finish, that would be icing on the cake.
The wreck is going to happen with that little 2-wide shit show going on about 10th place on back.
Falling back to this group.
Yeah, I like the strategy of staying in line here, not let that second group catch them. We're coming out down to 4 laps to go.
Love this. Jesse Love, 18 years old, leading the race. You got Scott Melton that we just showed.
4 to go.
61 years old, shown in 6th. It's anybody's race right now.
We said that at the very top of the show.
But if you're a spotter on the roof right now, watching the single file line, you're looking to see where the gaps are. The biggest gap right now is in front of Brett Holmes, and I guarantee you that's on purpose. He's trying to figure out what kind of run his car can generate.
It's real cute that they let Jamie Little pretend to be a lead announcer.
When is that run going to happen?
I'm telling you, they're going to wreck back there in that stupid group that's not even contending for the win. Frankie's so slow he can't keep up with the top 8, but the cars behind him can't pass him.
Whenever you have a run, I am not a fan of waiting till the last lap because some other caution could happen, something could happen, and if you're banking on one shot, one try, it's probably
3 laps to go.
So I think if you have the run, you got to take it, and if you have help, you got to take the run too, because everybody else starts getting too impatient. As you see another reasonably sized gap in front of the 23 car.
That was Jesse Love's family on the right side and his crew chief, Shannon Rush. This car that Jesse's driving actually won this race here 2 years ago. I mean, when you're as good as Venturini Motorsports, especially when it comes to super speedway races, most of your cars, if not all of them, have won at some point in the last few years.
And we talked about Scott Melton right now running in the 6th spot. That's the car that Todd Gilliland drove the victory lane here a few years ago. There goes Taylor Gray. He's going to jump to the outside.
Taylor Gray's going to go to the outside with no help.
It's time to try to make something happen.
Not happening, Taylor. I'm sorry. 2 to go. It's about time for the rear of the field to shit their pants so we have a fucking bunch of overtimes.
Unfortunately, you talked before, when you're the last car in line, you don't have anybody behind you. It doesn't matter how fast your car is.
3-car breakaway. Yeah, the 20's got it on lockdown. Unless somebody starts laying back and playing some games here.
Keep up with this lead pack.
I mean, I think Sean Corr would be wise just to get behind. Don't try to side draft him. Don't try to pull
That guy in the 8 car is a fucking genius.
behind him, or they're going to find
They're being real nice about this, but yeah, he should have just fucking let the 18 go.
They don't really have a shot to win it.
6-car breakaway at the front.
Now this pack's smaller, and now it's going to be even harder for Jack Wood and Brett Holmes.
Boy, this was not worth sticking around for unless we have a wacky last lap here. 3 wide back of the pack, because that's totally worth it, isn't it? 1 lap to go.
White flag is in the air for Jesse Love, Gus Dean, Andres Perez, Brett Holmes.
Speak now, forever hold your penis. 25's been a good pusher all day. He's drafted up to cars very easily. He just doesn't have a car behind him. He's drafted up to the 20, but there's nobody right on him. This is a done deal.
Jesse Love has quite a few cars in between him to be able to make
Back up to the fucking 2.
Here comes Brett Holmes. He does have a little bit of momentum. He does pull out.
Pathetic. And the 25 goes to the top with no momentum whatsoever. Has to get back down behind the leader. Holmes is going to side draft the 2, make it even easier for Jesse Love to walk to victory, sleepwalk to victory. A lot of jostling going on for a whole lot of nothing here. Got a little far ahead there in the tri-oval, but he's going to hold on. Jesse Love wins. I'm free of this pain. I'll be back around 4 for the Xfinity race. I'll catch you guys in a little while.